So gone are the days of Logan having to deal with petty mutant drama or even his rivalry with Sabretooth. No, right now Logan has to deal with bigger things that potentially can spell disaster for the rest of the entire world, and it starts within the adamantium in his very bones. And we even see evidence of this with at first us picking up and seeing Logan seemingly in the middle of the earth. Yes, that's right, deep within Earth's core, with him going on to think, all around me is darkness. No, not the natural low light that makes for good hunting, but the kind of darkness where sight isn't possible. But I don't need to see to know where I am. The sensations, the rock, the heat, the metal, the pressure, I am buried deep beneath the Earth's surface. And no, Logan didn't just teleport or seemingly is here. It seems to be some type of illusion, some type of call, a trap for him specifically, because he also goes on saying, I hear the ringing of the adamantine, but he also hears the screeching of the false metal adamantium, both two different distinct sounds clashing against each other. But thankfully, it seems he is able to be woken up and picked out of this little trance here and back into the real present in the battlefield he is in, where we see Nightcrawler. And it seems the last thing Logan remembers is fighting Cyber, before he passed out and went unconscious. Unconscious from the adamantine trying to fully control and take over him, but it seems Logan is pretty resistant and keeps breaking free from its hold. The villain though, Cyber, who has been under control of the adamantine because anyone with adamantium is susceptible to being taken under, well, Cyber himself is long gone by now. But of course Nightcrawler, who up to this point doesn't really know what's going on, Logan starts to explain very briefly and break it down for him, saying someone or something is trying to rid the planet of adamantium, and whatever it is, it's been killing anything that gets in its way. Unfortunately though, as the heroes here go to gather their bearings, they realize that the Wendigo, the child Logan has been protecting and watching over, named Leonard, has escaped the Blackwing and is free just loose, which means he is hungry. And when Wendigos get hungry, they go on a little bit of a murder spree, unable to control their own bloodlust. So, of course, without wanting any more casualties, they try to rush over. In which, yeah, the Wendigo did find a target and is now fighting, but this target just so happens to be someone Logan considers family, Laura herself, who at this point I believe does also share the code name and mantle Wolverine. But as we see her in this Wendigo fighting and about to impale the thing, immediately she is stopped by Logan as he tries to explain the situation to her, saying how yes, this Wendigo, this beast, isn't just a normal blood-hungry monster. No, he's different from the rest. He's just a kid, and he can be reasoned with, as we see Logan start to calm him down. Of course, to Laura's confusement and dismay, because this is like you seeing another guy with a polar bear, but instead of the polar bear just attacking and demolishing him, he is actually communicating and almost trying to take care of the polar bear like it was another person and not a wild beast or animal. And with Laura now here, Wolverine goes to explain the situation to her, which it's good and bad that she is here and she came. It's good because Wolverine now has backup, another formidable opponent with a healing factor that can assist him in fighting this now situation he found himself in. And it's bad because Laura now also has adamantium within her, meaning she is susceptible to being taken over and controlled. In a follow-up on this exact point, we see Laura go on to say that she has been almost feeling a call of something in her very bones, in the adamantium within her. But of course Wolverine is all too familiar with this, as whatever has been calling to them, he got close and felt the same thing, almost too close. Whatever it is, it's as old as the earth. And the others, Deathstrike, Cyber, the other people that got taken over from it, had a name for it, adamantine. As we see what it looks like, buried deep within the earth, a golden sphere or metal type object that looks alive and very sinister, something that frankly you wouldn't want to mess with. But Logan, being the hero he is, obviously he has to go mess with it and stop it. But that's the thing, how exactly do you stop or fight an object that seemingly is a part of the earth itself, something very old and very powerful? Unfortunately, they don't have that answer, but what they can do right now is track the others, the villains who were taken over. Track them down and maybe see what they can get information out of them. So a short while later, they teleport to the location where they need to be. Unfortunately though, it's only going to be a two-man mission, with Wolverine and Laura, his kind of clone daughter, going in, leaving Nightcrawler to stay behind because someone has to watch the Wendigo and not let him go on another blood frenzy and attack. But again, even though this is a situation they are in, it's kind of stupid because you're sending the two most vulnerable people, Wolverine and Laura, both who have adamantium in their bones, instead of calling the other X-Men or even Logan's ties with the Avengers to come and just rain down attack and win. And speaking of Avengers, I wonder how some of the other people on the team who have special metal properties would interact with the adamantine. Like say Thor with Mjolnir for an example. Even though his hammer is made out of Uru metal, I just wonder how would it interact. Even maybe taking over the hammer, since from what I last remember, it used to be sentient, with a living storm inside and then Odin. But my knowledge on current Thor isn't that crazy right now and I could be wrong. Either way though, as the heroes make it inside, unfortunately they are met with a very gruesome sight. Dozens of dead bodies strung up and murdered, meaning whatever is happening here and whoever came here, they're not leaving any survivors. And if this is an indication of anything, it's going to be a very rough and tough battle. Gunshots, crushed skulls, claw marks. That means the villains here, Cyber, Constructor, and Deathstrike, are all working in tandem. which is good that Wolverine brought backup, but kind of the wrong backup in the situation. But Laura here goes to put two and two together, finally figuring out the villain's plan and why they are here at this data center. They're trying to permanently erase the means to make adamantium, so they have got to be after the physical servers, because the adamantine, the almost sentient golden metal of Greek origin, the godly metal, sees the silver adamantium as a fake, an imposter. So it not only wants to get rid of the source, but the people who are using it as well. But after going further down into this decimated and destroyed data center, they unfortunately find what they're looking for. They know someone is here, but they can't really understand who or what or how many. And the fire is only making their senses even worse. But what they can confirm is there's more than one, meaning they brought company, as we see them immediately surrounded by a bunch of the previous villains, all under the adamantine's control. Which, if this was just a 1v4 here, Wolverine would absolutely be on the back end and probably most likely would lose. Luckily that isn't the case, and instead this is a 2v4. And even though I just said that, immediately as the battle starts, the heroes are instantly on the back foot, with Wolverine even going on to think in his head, each of these freaks are dangerous on their own. Even more so, together, they're extra bad news, and they're stronger than they all normally should be, driven by something more powerful than all of them put together, the adamantine. Whatever this thing is, it's made them unified. They fight like they know each other, like a well-oiled machine. With again, him and Laura being on the back foot and losing as of right now. That is until she reminds him what he knows. All the times that him and Laura have teamed up together, fought together, they too are also a pretty unified machine as they start to work in tandem. Wolverine going high, Laura going low, slowly beating down and taking out their competition, till eventually they are the only ones left standing and they succeed. Unfortunately though, this little victory is short-lived as they just all get up and healed almost like nothing has happened. Meaning if they're going to truly win and take these enemies out, it is going to be a long battle of attrition. And to make matters even worse, there seems to be another intruder, another person entering the fold as a third-party voice goes to ring out, saying, "I think that's quite enough. Our friends here have served their little pretty purpose." And instantly Wolverine knows something worse is happening. He recognizes whatever voice that is, looking around unsure where this is coming from or who it is. But again, it's a two-way streak. This voice seemingly knows who Logan is, as this mysterious person goes on to say, "It's been a long time, Logan. The last time we met, you made a mistake. You let me live. And now I've come to wield a power you can't even comprehend. I am its prophet and its avatar, but you were just still weak and ignorant, and you were in my way." Logan instantly getting angry now that he remembers who this is, going on to think and remember the voice here belongs to an old enemy. Emphasis on old. Now Wolverine is no spring chicken or young, this man here is ancient. You see, he's not only older than Rome, the Roman Empire, but he built it. As we see a man named Romulus. Now let me tell you, if you thought Wolverine and Sabretooth had a long history and rivalry, Wolverine and Romulus are on a whole other level, because not only is Romulus centuries or even thousands of years old, but he has been controlling and manipulating Wolverine's bloodline from was half as long, meeting Wolverine in the 1900s to going on to murdering his wife, raising his son, even being the one there to put him into the Weapon X program to make Logan into the Wolverine he is now. Romulus is a very old villain and frankly underrated, and now here he is empowered by something very powerful, adamantine. With Romulus almost looking like an alternate version of Wolverine himself, we have Adamantium Wolverine and Adamantine Romulus going head to head, which I can only assume is going to be a very powerful battle, but one that we will get to see next time as this video and issue comes to a close. As always, this was the Hero Informer, and I'll see you in the next one.